Today I'm going to talk about why monetizing crypto content is so difficult in 2024, why I think it's actually going to get harder, not easier, and why I think that content creators are actually uniquely positioned to be able to get themselves and their audience out of this mess and to be able to create opportunities for themselves. So I'm going to start with why it's so difficult to monetize crypto content in 2024. So the first one is there is an oversupply of VC funding and funds. What that has done is created, there's too many projects, and the valuations are captured at very high private rounds. These funds are incentivized to create these low float, high FDV kind of launches where the VCs and the team and probably the content creators have all been given opportunities at much, much lower prices. There's projects that have endless token unlocks. So it's just raining tokens endlessly. And then you also have situations where there's these points programs, so fake tokens. And so as a content creator, you can't promote any of this stuff. Like, not least because people don't actually want it. But if you like, these projects have cash and tokens, so they can pay you in cash and tokens, but if you get paid in cash, you're not really aligned to the project. And once you do your advertising, that's it. You just kind of pay and then move on. And then if you get paid in tokens, the same thing. You're either dumping on your audience, and in both cases, if the token price is just down only, then your audience, your reputation isn't really going to do very well in that scenario. So, and luckily, retail isn't really interested in these tokens. So it's kind of a non-starter in terms of content creators promoting them. There's probably a few content creators that are given very preferential access to these projects, and they get good valuations or lots of tokens, but it doesn't help the overall dynamic where it's not a good game for your audience or retail or even you. So the next one is the ETFs. So the ETFs, here, if they have lots of inflows, it doesn't translate to market demand or projects activity, nothing. So really ETFs kind of have no direct influence on, the opportunities. And then you have Solana and meme coins. So again, you have a situation where there's too many projects. The projects that are created, the number of successes is very low. You have lots of people having fun, but at the same time, they're not making any money, they're losing a lot of money. So they're either getting rugged or $2 million a day is getting extracted out by pump.fun. And so from like as a content creator, you can't really promote these either. Like there's a very high risk that it's going to be like a really bad project to promote. It's going to get rugged. There's no, it's kind of a similar situation where the risks are too great for your reputation, and so it's better to avoid them. So that's kind of, I guess, the overall structure why I think it's bad. The reason why I think it's going to get worse is because you have a this supply and demand imbalance. So I think like early on, the first few cycles in crypto, there was like not much supply and a lot of demand. And so you had these, rotation from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then on to the altcoins. But I think now what we're finding is that, software creates infinite scalability, and that we're now kind of reaching the point where the number of projects and tokens that are getting created, like on Solana, the meme coins, thousands per day, and then altcoins on Ethereum that are they're kind of like the VC coins. There's also lots of those that get created. And so there's too much supply of the tokens and token projects and not enough demand, basically. And ultimately, the scarce resource in all of this is attention. So there's like a finite amount of attention, but an exponentially increasing number of these projects. So the balance, it just doesn't balance. Like I think it's just going to get worse and worse, where most projects are going to fail to capture any attention, and so they're just going to die and or really struggle. And it's only the projects that are actually able to capture attention that are the ones that are going to succeed. So what do I think content creators are uniquely positioned to create opportunities for themselves and their audience? The main thing that content creators have is cut through. In today's, very competitive space where attention is scarce, the things that people kind of have a filter, so they ignore most things. And the things that actually get their attention is giving away free value, and then also people that they know, like, and trust. And so as content creators, that's kind of your business, is that you give away free value, and over time people get familiar with you. They know, like, and trust you. And so content creators are already in the position of having that cut through. So that's kind of the first advantage that they have. So the next reason why content creators are uniquely positioned is, in this highly competitive environment, the way to actually successfully sell products is to create a market first and then sell into that market. And so if you look at some of the biggest non-crypto content creators, they're able to create enormous wealth and opportunity for the businesses that they create and partner with. And so I think what needs to happen with crypto content creators is that they need to start potentially thinking a little bit more about being more proactive rather than reactive. So at the moment, what I think the dynamic is that content creators are typically like looking for what projects are out there, and then I'm going to potentially promote this project. Whereas I think that if it's turned on its head and the content creators can go to their audience and partner with other content creators and say, with this larger group of people, what is the demand and the need out there? And then as a group, try to solve that overarching problem. And that might be with existing products, or it might be creating new products where actually all of the community and those influencers directly benefit. And so they're actually in the driver's seat of what gets built, how it gets built, what problems it's solving, who benefits from it. You don't have like large overhangs of tokens, VCs, things like that, but you actually have an audience and people's attention that are looking to solve those problems. And then if you're creating products and services and tokens around that, they're vested. They are like super vested and get a lot of value out of that. And so then you're creating opportunities for yourself, and you're creating opportunities for your audience, and you're finding a path out of this mess. So you can see that this approach kind of requires a different thinking, but and more of a leadership role from the content creators. But by doing it's going to mean that content creators can create a path of opportunity for themselves and their audience, and potentially grow their audience and their influence at the same time. And everyone within that sphere benefits, and you don't have the situation where we're kind of trying to make the current structure work. We just say, hey, we've got something better going on over here that works better for this group of people, let's just go in this direction. If you're a content creator and this sounds interesting to you, then please obviously subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be creating some content around going through the process of setting some of these up, and also you can contact me directly. My Telegram handle is in the description below. And if you would like to promote projects using this kind of methodology, again, reach out to me. This is what we're doing with one of the services that I'm running called Dream Promo. Thank you very much.